Sometimes when buying or selling real estate, you need to think outside the box. Hi, I'm Allan Ostler with Ask Realty Pro, and I want to show you in this video how anyone can buy a house in this marketplace just by thinking outside the box and having a little perseverance. And if you're thinking about buying or selling, you might be wondering about whether or not you want to hire a real estate agent. Well, that will depend on your circumstance, but what we are going to do in this video is show you how our involvement helped a small business owner buy a house when he almost gave up. Today, that small business owner is living in his dream home, and we did it all with zero money out of pocket. Oh, and he didn't have great credit to begin with. When I first met Patrick, a small business owner, I knew immediately the financial situation he was facing. You see, the biggest obstacle most business owners face in getting a mortgage is that they don't file their taxes the right way so that they can actually go ahead and qualify for the loan they want. You see, the problem with small business owners is they take advantage of all the tax deductions on their tax returns, and then when it comes time to buy a property, they don't have any income to show to the mortgage company. In this particular case, Patrick could afford to buy his dream home, but the way that his tax returns read, no mortgage company would give him a loan to buy it. So once I learned of this, I knew exactly what steps and the roadmap that would get him to his end result. So the first thing I did with Patrick is I got him in touch with our CPA, because we learned that his old CPA wasn't doing things the proper way to get him qualified for this loan. And once our CPA did a deep dive into Patrick's financials, we found that if we moved and restructured a few things, he could then qualify for the home of his dreams. The second thing that we discovered is that Patrick had been doing business as an LLC. So we immediately went and restructured that into an S corporation, which allowed him to get the tax deductions that he needed and also the income that he required for getting into that property. And one of the coolest things we did was help walk him through setting up a retirement account, a health savings account, a college savings account for his kids. And what a lot of people don't know, that when you set up these accounts, you actually get a credit on your tax return, which increases your spending capacity. And it didn't stop there. We actually also learned that Patrick had a foreclosure. So then we had to take him over to a portfolio lender at a community bank so that they could walk through a situation one-on-one. That avoided the underwriting process that most traditional banks use. In this particular case, we went through the community bank, the private lending route, because they have less contingencies. They're not boilerplated like all these other big dog companies that really don't care about his business. And that story didn't stop there. I actually had to take his file to 4 different community banks. Each one underwrote the file independently, and at the end of the day, one of them finally took the deal. Once we were approved, after all of those hurdles, we were confident that we could get the financing, so we went out and finally shopped for the house of his dreams. After about 3.5 weeks of looking, he finally did get the house. You see, many small business owners are reluctant to go out there and get the home of their dreams because they're sick and tired of running into all these hurdles with mortgage lenders and credit and anything else that's going on. But after thinking outside the box and a lot of perseverance, we finally landed Patrick the house of his dreams. It's stories like these that really give us a lot of fulfillment in helping out people in our community. If you find yourself or someone else in a similar situation, please feel free to contact me anytime and we might be able to help you out. I'm Allan Ostler with Ask Realty Pro. Thanks for watching.